Good morning, everybody. This is Stephen Pugh of the Home Bible College. It is March the 13th, and we're beginning our readings today in Deuteronomy and chapter 26. Now, in chapter 26, it completes the instructions of the Lord regarding the law, and then in chapter 27 and 28, we have the blessings and the curses of the Lord on the children of Israel who are circumcised, being in the old covenant. But first we see the offerings for the harvest. The Lord said that the first fruits of the harvest belong to the Lord. The first fruits were to be put into a basket and brought to the Lord and set beside the altar, and the offerer was to repeat a set prayer or worship which recounted the whole of Israel's history as if it were a personal and present experience. In the third year, the year of tithing, the offering was devoted to the poor. On this occasion, another prayer declaration is made, which included the statements that I have not transgressed the commandments, I have not forgotten them, I have fasted in time of mourning, I have removed nothing for unclean use, I have not offered for the dead, but I have done what the Lord required. Look down from heaven and bless your people and the land which you gave us, etc., etc. Then the Lord gave a serious responsibility to Israel to keep the statutes and the judgments, which are the commandments of the Lord. They are to be kept and obeyed with all of Israel's soul. Israel promised with an oath to keep the law, the whole law. The Lord promised to make Israel high above the nations. Israel is to be praiseworthy, is to be named before the Lord, and to be honoured, and to be a holy people unto the Lord their God. Israel had a very grave responsibility, but also a very great honour. Having outlined the whole law of Moses, the Lord next describes both the blessings and the curses of those who live under the law. This was a double covenant. The Lord promised to be their God if they kept the law, but he warned them of judgment if they rebelled. Next, Moses calls all the elders of Israel and commanded them to keep the commandments of the Lord. He says, we are going to go over the river of Jordan, and the children of Israel are to take 12 stones out of the riverbed and plaster them, and on them to write the commandments of the Lord. These stones are to be put on Mount Ebal, and there they are to build an altar of unhewn stones to the Lord, and they are to offer a burnt offering and a peace offering, and they are to write the words of the law and to rejoice in the Lord. Then the Lord said that half of Israel will stand on Mount Ebal and half on Mount Gerizim to speak to the people. In the valley between them Israel will be encamped. Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Joseph, Benjamin will stand on Mount Gerizim and bless Israel, and Reuben, Gad, Asher, Zebulun, Dan and Naphtali will stand on Ebal to curse Israel. The Levites will declare with a loud voice the curses. Every curse is spoken, and the people answer Amen each time. And we have 12 curses. Cursed be the man that maketh any graven or molten image. Cursed be he that setteth light by his father or his mother. Cursed be he that removeth his neighbour's landmark. Cursed be he that maketh the blind to wander out of the way. Cursed be he that perverteth the judgment of the stranger, the fatherless, and the widow. Cursed be he that lieth with his father's wife. Cursed be he that lieth with any manner of beast. Cursed be he that lieth with sister, the daughter of his father, or the daughter of his mother. Cursed be he that lieth with his mother-in-law. Cursed be he that smiteth his neighbour secretly. And cursed be he that taketh a reward to slay an innocent person. And cursed be he that confirmeth not all the words of this law to do them. And next come the blessings on Israel. If Israel hears the voice of the Lord to observe and to do the commandments, then the Lord will do certain things. He will set Israel high above the nations of the earth. And we see 3 couplets. Blessed will they be in the city. Blessed will they be in the field. And secondly, blessed your children and the crops and the cattle and the kine and the sheep. And blessed will be your basket and your store. And thirdly, blessed when you come out and blessed when you come in and blessed when you go out. And then of course we have a series of other things. It says, first of all, in international relationships, your enemies that rise up against you will be smitten before your face. Israel's reserves, blessing will be on thee in the storehouses and in all that thou settest thy hand unto. Israel's land, blessed will you be in the land which the Lord your God gave you. Israel standing before the Lord, you will be holy, and you will be established as a holy people unto himself. And Israel's testimony, all people of the earth shall see that thou art called by the name of the Lord. And Israel's testimony again, they shall be afraid of thee. And Israel standing before the Lord, they will be fruitful and plenteous in goods, in children, cattle, and in crops. And see Israel's land, the heaven to give you rain unto the land in his season. And Israel's reserve you will lend unto many nations, and thou shalt not borrow. And international relations, you will be the head of the nations, and not the tail. Now, however well intentioned Israel were in promising to be faithful to the Lord outlines the curses of rebellion to his commandments. And again we see 3 couplets. Cursed will you be in the city, and cursed in the field. Cursed will be your basket and your store, and cursed will be your children, crops, kine, and sheep. And you will be cursed when you come in, and cursed when you go out. And then the Lord explains the curses further. He says, there will be cursing and vexation and rebuke in all you do until you are destroyed, and you will perish quickly. Pestilence will stick to you until you are consumed from off the land. Consumption, fever, inflammation, extreme burning, the sword, blasting, mildew. Heaven that's above your head will be like brass. Earth under your feet will be like iron. Rain will be like powder and dust. You will be smitten before your enemies, removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. You will be meat for carrion, for wild dogs. No man shall chase them away. The botch of Egypt, hemorrhoids, scab, the itch, wherefore thou canst not be healed. Madness, blindness, astonishment of heart. You will grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in darkness. You will not prosper in your ways. You will be oppressed and spoiled forevermore, and no man will save you. Now these curses would cause a cold shiver to run down the spine of any Jew in the Old Covenant. The Lord goes on, you will betroth a wife, another man will lie with her. You will build a house, but you'll never live in it. You'll plant a vineyard, but you'll never gather the grapes. Your ox will be slain in front of your eyes, you will not eat of it. Your ass will be violently taken away from before your face, and will never be restored to you. Your sheep will be given to your enemies, and thou wilt have none, and there will be none to rescue them. Your sons and daughters will be taken as slaves, and you will look on and fail to see them. Your crops will be taken and eaten by another nation. You will be oppressed and crushed always. The Lord will smite you in the knees, in the legs, and a sore botch that cannot be healed from the sole of your foot to the top of your head. And then after that, you will be deported to a strange land, and there you will serve other gods. You will be an astonishment, a proverb, a byword among all the nations. You will plant a lot of seed, but reap very little. The locust will eat it all. You will plant vineyards, but never drink the wine, or even gather the grapes. Works will eat them. You will have olives but never have the oil. The olives will fall early. You will have children but they will be taken away as captives. All your trees and crops will be destroyed by locusts. The strangers among you will rule over you. He will lend to you, and he will be your head, and you will be the tail. These things will come upon you if you do not serve the Lord with joy and gladness. You will serve your enemies in hunger, thirst, nakedness, and in want. He shall put a yoke of iron upon your neck until he has destroyed you. And the Lord will bring a nation against you from afar, from the ends of the earth, whose language you don't understand. He will be of fierce countenance, which he has no respect for the old or for the young. They will eat and destroy everything. They will besiege the cities until every high and fenced wall comes down. You will eat your own children to live. Brother will eat brother, and husband wife, and father his only heir. Even the most delicate and cultured woman will wish to eat her family. Even at this time, if Israel does not hear the Lord, he will send plagues, wonderful plagues, the sort of plagues that cause people to be in astonishment, great and long and very sore, all the diseases of Egypt until you are destroyed. You will be few in number because you would not obey the voice of the Lord thy God. The Lord will rejoice over you to destroy you. The Lord will scatter you among all people. You will find no place of rest but a trembling heart, failing of eyes, and sorrow of mind. Your life will hang in doubt before you. You will fear day and night, and have none assurance of thy life. You will be taken back to Egypt in ships, and you will be so worthless that none will want to buy you. Now, if this speech does not cause the fear of the Lord to fall upon Israel, then nothing would. Now, I hear lots of Christians queuing up to put themselves back under the old law, queuing up to say, oh yes, we've got to keep the Sabbath, we've got to do this, we've got to do that. Let me tell you, it was a fearful thing to be in the old covenant. Do not be so foolish as to make this Galatian error, to go back to the law of Moses and seek to bring yourself, having been liberated by Christ, to be put back under a yoke of bondage to the law. What an amazing passage. It's this passage and tomorrow's passage which I think are absolutely crucial to enable us to understand Israel in the old covenant. My password is from verse 16 onward. It says, this day the Lord thy God hath commanded thee to do these statutes and judgment. Thou shalt therefore keep and do them with all thy heart and with all thy soul. You see, this idea that Israel never kept the law is a very, very serious error. They were commanded to keep the law, and they had to keep it, lest they perished very quickly. Well, God bless you. That's been a long reading today. I look forward to speaking to you tomorrow. Have a great day, and God bless you all. Bye for now.